Hello, my name is Carlos and we are here today at the Wilderness Coffee Roasting Facility, and today we will be doing a French press. We're going to be starting with a ratio of 1 part coffee to 16 parts water. So we'll be brewing 2 ounces of coffee. One thing I like to do is pre-rinse the whole vessel. So I like to pour water just to warm up the vessel a little bit before I start brewing a little bit. And you want to have water that's about just over 200 degrees. And I recommend using a scale. So what we're going to do is we're going to grind our coffee coarse. We're going to go on a coarse grind. This should be a little bit coarser than kosher salt. Okay, and then I'm going to show you a close-up of the coarseness on my hand, so you know how coarse this is. I mean, you can see that there are some really big coffee grounds in there. Now that's pretty coarse, so you want to go at least that coarse. So you're going to pour 2 ounces. Remember, this is 1 part coffee, 16 parts water. And I'm going to use a chopstick stir stick. What you want to do is, I'm trying this out, and we're going to pour, since we're doing 2 ounces of coffee, we're going to multiply that times 16, which is 32 ounces. As I'm pouring in, I'm going to stir the coffee. So we're going to go to 32 ounces. Okay. There's a big French press. 32 ounces. So you want to get, I'm going to start my timer. You see how the coffee grounds are on top? And see how they're all floating on top? That's because there's a lot of CO2 in the ground. So what you want to do is you want to stir it to dunk them down. And fresh coffee should yield a lot of kind of frothy. So once you give it a good stir, what I like to do, I like to push this below the water line, or at least halfway down, and then bring it back up and stop right above the top line right there and leave it there. And brew this, depending on your preferred strength of coffee, brew it for about 3.5 to 4.5 minutes. 5 minutes is probably the limit you should go, but everyone has their own preferred methods. I recommend 4 minutes. So then we'll let this elapse. A good sign that you want to see when you're doing your French press is the froth. You see this froth here? This is a little bit more of a medium light roast that we're doing. Usually medium to darker roasts will yield a bigger foam or bigger froth. But you want to see some of this. If you don't see some of this, your coffee is probably reaching the end of its life. But having this froth is a good sign. And what you want to do while this is brewing, you want you want to get another vessel because you want to decant this, because you want to stop the extraction. You don't want to just leave your coffee in here and drink it out of here, because the coffee will continue to extract. So we should yield about roughly 48 ounces of coffee. So we're at 4 minutes. And then we're going to pour it. Then you want to decant it, meaning you're taking it off from here into another vessel. You want to do this because you want to stop the coffee extracting, or else, I mean, the coffee will continue extracting if you leave it in here. And then this is what you want to serve.